Say to a microphone, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback ever, Joe Montana never lost a Super Bowl, he's the GOAT, Peyton Manning is the smartest quarterback to ever play, my GOAT is Johnny Unitas, it's not even a debate, Aaron Rodgers is the most talented ever. Let me ask you something. If I asked 100 football fans right now who the greatest quarterback of all time is, most of them would say the same three names: Brady, Montana, Manning. And at least one of those people would be wrong, because this list is not what you think it is. Some of the quarterbacks you have been told are GOATs have holes in their resume so big you could drive a truck through them. And one quarterback, one of the most beloved, most talked about, most celebrated quarterbacks in NFL history, doesn't even crack the top 7. If that already has you ready to close the video, good, because that means you care. And caring is exactly what this debate needs. We need to talk about Dan Marino. 17 seasons, 61,361 passing yards, 420 touchdowns, and the 1984 season, 48 touchdown passes when nobody else in the league was even close. That stood as one of the greatest individual seasons a quarterback had ever produced. The arm, the release, the football IQ, nobody questions any of it. But here's what people refuse to say out loud. None of it mattered when it counted. One Super Bowl appearance. One. In 17 years. And he lost. That was it. No second chance, no redemption arc, no ring. Just numbers. And in the GOAT conversation, numbers without championships are just trivia. Marino is the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. Write that on a trophy. Because that is the only trophy he ever got. This is not about who put up the best stats. It is about who actually separated themselves from everyone who ever played the position. These are the 7 quarterbacks whose legacies stand above everyone else. And if your guy isn't on this list, he probably shouldn't be. Number 7, Brett Favre. Here is a number that will never happen again. 297 consecutive starts. Not 297 games where Favre felt good. Not 297 games where the conditions were right. 297 games where he suited up, took snaps, and refused to come off the field. Through broken thumbs, through torn ligaments, through seasons where the Packers had no business competing. 3 straight MVP awards from 1995 to 1997. Still the only player in NFL history to do that. Super Bowl 31 champion. All-time records in passing yards and touchdowns when he finally walked away. But here's the other side of Brett Favre. He also led the league in interceptions more times than any quarterback on this list. Not because he was careless, because he simply did not care about the consequences. He would fit a ball into a window that didn't exist, and sometimes it worked, and sometimes it ended your season. There has never been a quarterback more entertaining to watch and more infuriating to root for at the same time. Favre at his best was untouchable. Favre at his worst handed games to the other team with a smile on his face. Both versions showed up regularly. Both versions belong on this list. Number 6, Aaron Rodgers. Let me be very clear about something. There has never been a more talented quarterback to play this game than Aaron Rodgers. Not Brady, not Montana, not Manning. From a pure physical and mechanical standpoint, the arm talent, the improvisation, the ability to process a defense faster than anyone alive, Aaron Rodgers is the most gifted quarterback the NFL has ever produced. 4 MVP awards. The highest career passer rating in the history of the league. A Super Bowl 45 performance where he picked apart one of the best defenses in football and made it look like a scrimmage. And yet, 1 ring. 1 Super Bowl appearance in 20 years. 1. And before you say the teams around him weren't good enough, every quarterback above him on this list had flaws around them too. They found ways back anyway. Rodgers didn't. And that is the most confusing, most maddening, most unresolved question in NFL history. How does the most talented quarterback who ever played the game only have 1 ring? Somebody answer that. Number 5, John Elway. The story of John Elway's career should not be possible. He went to 5 Super Bowls, lost the first 3, by a combined 93 points. At that point in history, most franchises would have moved on. Most quarterbacks would have had their legacy permanently defined by those losses. Elway didn't move on. He came back at 37 years old, an age when most quarterbacks are either retired or shadows of themselves, and won back-to-back Super Bowls. Then, he walked away. Just like that. Think about what it takes to do that. To absorb 3 Super Bowl losses. To spend a decade carrying rosters that had no business competing at that level. To drag teams to championship games on sheer will and then lose. and then somehow, at the end, find it in you to go back and finish the job. Elway's stats tell part of the story. The last 2 rings tell the rest of it. That is not a career. That is a comeback. Number 4, Johnny Unitas. Every quarterback on this list owes something to Johnny Unitas, because before him, the position didn't look like this. The 2-minute drill, the audible at the line of scrimmage, the idea that the quarterback is the one who decides what happens. Not the coaches in the booth, not the playbook, not the personnel. The quarterback. Unitas built that. 3 NFL championships, a Super Bowl, 3 league MVPs, a touchdown pass in 47 consecutive games, a record that survived for 52 years. But none of that is the reason he is on this list. On December 28, 1958, in front of 64,000 people at Yankee Stadium, with the NFL championship on the line and the game tied at the end of regulation, Unitas drove the Colts down the field in sudden death overtime and won. That game was on national television, and after it aired, professional football in America was never the same again. Every Super Bowl ever played, every television contract ever signed, every quarterback on this list. None of it exists the same way without what Unitas did that afternoon. Number 3, Pton Manning. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever understood football the way Pton Manning understood football. 5 MVPs, more than any player in the history of the league. He did not just read defenses, he dissected them. Standing at the line of scrimmage before the ball was even snapped, Manning could identify every defender's assignment, every coverage rotation, every blitz that was coming, and then he systematically destroyed all of it. His 2013 season with Denver, 55 touchdown passes, 5,477 yards, are records that still stand today. His 2004 season, 49 touchdowns, stood as the record for 9 years. He was essentially the offensive coordinator and the quarterback at the same time. But then January comes up, and it always comes up. 14 playoff wins, 13 losses. That is a below .500 postseason record for a player who won 5 regular season MVPs. Some of those losses were bad. The 2003 AFC Championship where the Patriots held him to 14 points. The Super Bowl 44 pick-6 to Tracy Porter when the Saints needed it most. 2 rings, one with Indianapolis in Super Bowl 41, one with Denver in Super Bowl 50. Keep him at number 3. Without those rings, this conversation gets uncomfortable very fast. Number 2, Joe Montana. 4 times. Joe Montana went to the Super Bowl 4 times, and 4 times he won. There is no loss. There is no close call. There is no fourth quarter where you weren't sure. 4 trips, 4 rings, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, a postseason record of 16 wins and 7 losses, and the most famous drive in NFL history. Super Bowl 23, trailing Cincinnati by 3 with 3 minutes left, 92 yards to go, no timeouts. And Montana looked into the huddle and pointed out a celebrity in the stands to calm everyone down. Then he drove the length of the field and won. That is the Montana story. Not the system, not Bill Walsh, not Jerry Rice. Those things were real. Those advantages were real. But the composure, that was his. Nobody manufactured that, and nobody who ever played quarterback had more of it. Number 1. Tom Brady. 7. No explanation needed. 7 Super Bowl championships. More than any franchise in NFL history except the Patriots, the dynasty that Brady himself built. 5 Super Bowl MVP awards. A playoff record of 35-13 across 23 seasons. Wins in 3 different decades. With multiple coordinators, multiple rosters. 2 franchises. You want to talk about Belichick? Fine. Brady left Belichick, and then won again. You want to talk about the AFC East? Fine. Brady left the AFC East, and then won again. You want to talk about Spygate and Deflategate? Fine. Talk about it. 5 of the 7 rings had nothing to do with either one. Every single argument against Brady eventually runs into the same wall, and that wall is 7 feet tall and made of Super Bowl rings. Until someone else gets there, and nobody has come close, the conversation ends here. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in NFL history. So where does your GOAT land? Who did I rank too high? Who did I disrespect? Because I already know there are people right now typing something in the comments, and I want to read every single one of them. Drop your list below. And if this video did its job and made you argue with your screen at least once, subscribe, because next time we're doing running backs, and that list is going to make this one look easy.